Cause I don't think I love me anymore. Maybe I think too much, so I drink to rush all my demons out the door. Tell me that it's all inside my head. Call it OCD, tell me it's you, not me, cause it's driving me mad. I don't think I'm losing my mind. Building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you. Yeah, I'll find you. Yeah, I'll find you. Find me. Did I lose myself in pride? My insecurities haunting my memories, cause I'm holding them inside. Let go, put my thoughts back into words. Feels like I let me down, ain't got no golden crown. I'm just trying to be right. I don't think I'm losing my mind. Building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you. Yeah, I'll find you. Yeah, I'll find you. Anytime I lose my mind, I used to hold it all inside. Anytime I lose my mind, anytime I lose my mind, I used to hold it all inside. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you.
Hello. Howdy. Welcome to the Sunday stream. In case you didn't know, it's Sunday. Sunday, May the 3rd. The day before May the 4th. If it will be with you. Let's write down the stream in my book. And then we will get started. Stream number 27. 27. May 3rd, 2026. Beautiful. Yep, hopefully you're doing well. If you're doing well, Jen, hopefully everyone's doing well. We are back in the single player world as always, doing our stuff and things. Minimize that. Switch screens. We've got our day count running. Stream notifications have gone out. I'm going to pick up where we left off, which is at a pretty good place, I think. So in the last stream, beep boop, ad break in 30 seconds, by the way. It's the first ad break of the day. Always do it towards the beginning just because there's fewer people here. Down here, we finished this section right here, and we put slabs on and all that good stuff, which is nice. So I'm thinking we'll start here and do this section next, like this section in particular, probably. You good, Jen? Let's go.
I thought of something funnier than 43, 44.
Did it just cut off? I saw nothing. Jen with the 44 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jen. Continue to enjoy all the emotes. Thank you for the 44 months. Thank you for being a fantastic moderator as well. Very much do appreciate it. Where do we want to start with this? Because I feel like... I don't know where I want to start with this. Whoop! Up there, I think, is where I want to go. I think I want to go here. Yeah. Oh, we were working there before. I see. Let's go here. Let's go here. Hopefully you're doing well today. It's definitely funnier than 43. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Now, do we want to go here? Let's go up to here, I think. Let's create a box. That works. Doing good, that's good. Let's see. When's the last time I did a Sunday stream? I did a Wednesday stream. It was 2 Sundays ago, wasn't it? It was probably 2 Sundays ago when you... Yeah, when last time I probably would have seen you. Would have been 2 weeks ago. So we've had... Yeah, we've had 2 long trips since then. I was in Ohio I was in Ohio last weekend, and then I was in Pennsylvania 2 days ago. So, well, good trips though. I had to take my car in this week though, which was a bummer. When I was in Ohio, the thing I'm gonna say about Ohio, people give it a lot of grief. Ohio's not that bad, okay? It's not that bad. However, I will say that I think Ohio's roads are worse than Maryland's. At least the part of Ohio I was in, for sure. So I was pulling into the parking lot of a CVS. We need to get some medication before we went to, like some Advil or something, before we went to the wedding. And I pull in, and my car scrapes, just the way the parking lot's done. My car scrapes the ground. Which, sometimes happens. So I'm like, that's a bummer, but, whatever. When we're coming back from Ohio, I don't really notice it until we're back in our neighborhood. We have speed bumps. As I'm going over the speed bumps, I can normally take them about 20 miles an hour. I'm trying to take them at 20 miles an hour and I hear scraping. I'm like, uh-oh. So I ended up taking it into the shop. It was well overdue for like an oil change and whatnot. I say well overdue. We were still like, I still had oil life, but I like to take the car in, you know, every year or so, 6 months to a year to get an oil change. I get 10 free oil changes for the first 5 years that I have this car because I take it back to the dealership that I bought it from. So I thought it was 3 years. When I brought it in, I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna have to pay for an oil change this time. They were like, nope, you get it through 2027. I'm like, okay. It was one of those things when I bought the car, because I bought it new. They sit you through the whole like finance spiel, and there's certain things you can add on, certain things that like, certain things you can add on basically. And that's one of the things that I ended up not adding on. That I think it was the one thing that the finance guy just added on for me, quote unquote. It didn't cost me anything. So I get 10 free oil change and tire rotations through 5 years, or it's either when I hit 10 or when I hit 5 years. So if I hit 5 years before I'll probably hit 5 years before I hit 10 oil changes, because I think that was number like 4 for me or something. But you bend your shield. So what happened is the I forget what it was called now. It's called a splash guard. It's over the front part around where my engine is, underneath of the car. When I scraped it, I guess it damaged it enough to what the only thing it did is it popped some screws. And I guess when the screws pop, they go into the car and not out of the car for whatever reason. I guess in my mind it makes sense for safety, right? You don't want to hit something and then screws go all over the ground, and now you're just endangering other cars on the highway and whatnot. So the screws go up in, which was fine. I guess they took them out. They didn't go like in and hit anything. They just went in. So they said basically that I had 3 screws missing. 3 screws that happened to. So they replaced 3 screws, and that was it. That's all it was. Thankfully. So, because when I told them about it, and then when I came back to pick up the car, the guy was like, did you hit something? And I'm like, oh, I hit this thing, and so I'm gonna guess that that's what it was. He's like, yeah, that's probably what it was. So, thank you, Ohio Roads. Very cool. Some friends in Ohio, nice. Yeah, so all good. But I took it in because I was overdue for getting I say overdue, like I still had oil life. My car was still telling me that I had like 20% oil life or something, but I'm like, yeah, I should probably change it out. And I get it for free anyways. So the car, I've had the car now for 3.5 years, and it only has, when I took it in, it had about 22,500 miles on it. So it's not got a whole lot of wear and tear. I think it was like 2 years after I bought the car. When some people hopping in the car, they were still saying it smelled like a new car, because it does. It doesn't really anymore, but 2 years afterwards, you know, that's how little that I drive it compared to, you know, how normal people drive their cars. Oh. About to hit 80K, nice. How old is your car? Because I think, oh, it's an 09. It's got 80,000 miles on an 09? That's impressive. That's really impressive. Because I remember telling people my old 07 Malibu, when it hit 15 years old, had about 80,000 miles on it, I think. You could hear the audible gasps as people were like, oh, that's so few miles. At the time, it's like a 15-year-old car, I think. Because this was 2022. That's pretty good. That's pretty low mileage. Because a lot of people, once you hit, 15, 16 years, they're at least at 100K, if not at 150. It surprises me, how much time, especially Americans, spend in our cars. The length of commutes, I think, is a lot of it, right? People have like hour-long commutes, so that contributes a lot. I wanted to shoot the Magma Cube before it dropped down on me, but I guess I'll have to wait. But yeah, so we're in Ohio. That was fun. Wedding was great. It was a great time. Then yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I was in Pennsylvania. I think I've mentioned on the stream, my grandfather was turning 90, so it was a little surprise party for him. I hadn't seen him in 8 months, because we stopped when we drove out west to Indiana for Emma's graduation, her master's degree. We stopped in Pennsylvania and visited some of my family for a few hours. So I did the about a little over 3 hour drive there and back Friday. Easy peasy. Not bad at all. Honestly, the drive itself is very easy. It's a less traveled highways basically, and yeah, it's through the mountains in western parts of Maryland, so it's a pretty scenic and a pretty nice drive. So there we go. The Appalachian Mountains around that area. Appalachian, whatever you want to call them. I've heard it both ways over the years. Growing up in Virginia, everyone said it differently. It kind of just depended upon who you talk to, So, yeah, that was cool. 2 trips in a car. Yeah, I think I went over the last week. I think I've driven like 400, 800. I've driven probably like 1,200 miles in the last 8 days, 9 days, which is most I've ever driven, probably in that time period before. Definitely with this car, because this car is, only had it for 3.5 years, so. Maybe not the most I've driven, because driving out to Indiana, we probably did a similar amount, but most I've done in back-to-back weekends for different trips like that, I guess. So. Why can't I see anything? I always forget to do this in stream. Just put the lantern in my offhand. It does help a lot, I will say. Did I miss that? I must have missed that. Oh my goodness. Give it to me. Thank you. There we go. Grab the rest of these. Cool. So yeah, easy peasy. Easy peasy few days. We do have Bailey back as well now. I think I mentioned in the Wednesday stream, but we had dropped her off at Emma's parents like a week and a half ago-ish. So we didn't have her all of last week because of the back-to-back weekends of doing stuff. So we just picked her up. We stayed over at their place last night and then came back this morning. We got back like an hour before stream today, so haven't been home very long. I know it sounds busy, but it doesn't feel busy. That makes sense. Maybe it's just cause like I'm getting used to things being somewhat busier. I think part of it as well is like the things we were doing were fun stuff. You know, like going to someone's wedding is fun. It was a really good time. It was a smaller wedding, but it was a pretty, I mean, small weddings become tight knit. So it was a pretty enjoyable wedding. You know, everyone was kind of talking to everyone, and it was a good time. So that was good, and then, you know, a birthday party is always good, so. Alright, we're gonna repair this pickaxe. We're gonna do this. We're gonna wait. How many skulls are we at now? 3.5 stacks, plus the 41 that are up here. So we're definitely at over 4 stacks of skulls now. For those who don't know, I come over here when we're working on this area and digging stuff out. This is my XP farm. This is how I repair my pickaxe, and so we get a lot of skulls that way. Good water. There's a Zamio like black cherry energy water flavoring that I'm trying out. I'm a big fan of like black cherry flavoring. So I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but I think it's really good. So hydrating that way. I'm a big flan. Ginormous. The biggest. Yeah, Emma's not a big fan of black cherry either. I mean, I like cherry stuff in general. Although I will say, like, real cherries, I'm not a big fan of. They're fine, but I like the flavoring more than I think it's the texture of the cherries. I'm not as big of a fan of. I'll still eat them. But, like, a lot of times they'll put, like, cherries on top of, was it milkshakes, I think? Or they put a cherry on like, a sundae or something. You know, I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite. I'm the opposite. I like cherries, but I don't like cherry flavor. I appreciate it, Zach. Thanks for the lurk, man. I appreciate it. Hi, not here. I'm Jen. Yep. That's a great joke, 10 out of 10. Yeah, for sure, Zach. I appreciate it, though. Always appreciate it. Yeah, it's just different time zones and whatnot. I've chosen the afternoon slot, my time, which is late for you, probably. Evening time for you, and early for some people, and... I have not. But I'll check it out, Zach. Have you been streaming it? Oh yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I will take a look-see. Oh yeah, that's always the nice thing about it, right? Like, and the world's always there, right? If you get distracted with other things, you know, you join a server, you have an IRL thing, whatever it is, it's always there. You can always go back. You can have a world for 15, 20, 25, forever if you want. Years. Versus, you know, a server is always just a set period of time. Whatever you can do in that period of time, and it, you know, everybody has time to do a whole bunch of stuff in the set period of time. Kind of thing. Yeah, that's where like chunking it or doing like a project that you can like do iterations of can help a lot. Like, oh, if I stop after this iteration, I'll be satisfied. But I can also do another iteration and be satisfied, you know. There's ways of doing that. I've never finished a project on a season of a server before. I don't even think that it's possible, to be honest. I don't really know who finishes projects. It's kind of wild. Like right as a season is ending. I've seen projects that are finished, but they're shorter projects, or they are, or people do like a set series. I think when Jaggiero's project on Afterlife season 5, I mean, he started very early in the season and was done in like 6-9 months, and then he just never played again. He did his project and then he was done. At that time, there wasn't really anybody playing anyways, but... And I've done this sort of chapter-based build, and I've always had project ideas I never started and wouldn't suit another world. Yeah... That's the unfortunate part about it. Versus having, you know, a quote-unquote forever world. Plus, the base wasn't unfinished. There are ideas that won't tie well into a future world. Yep. Some ideas you just have to let go, unfortunately. Or you put them in the back of your head. Or you put them on a piece of paper or on a Google Sheet or... Google Sheet. I guess sometimes Google Sheet, Google Doc, a Word doc, a notepad, whatever it is. And then a few years down the road, oh, I had this idea here. Let me try it here. Macaw Witch Hut base was massive and looked finished, but I could have spent another year on that base, yeah. The thing about Minecraft is nothing's ever really finished. And that's the struggle, right? You have to define when things are... You have to determine your definition of done. Oh, definition of done. Work. Anyways, it's true, though. You have to determine what is done to you. And then kind of leave it at that. Because with Minecrafting, you can just go forever. Ever and ever and ever. Endless possibilities, right? Oh, I built this quad witch hut, but now I want to build something on top of it, or now I want to build below it, now I want to build these like arms coming off of it, or now I want, you know. I want this particular storage system, you know. The good thing about having your own like single player world and doing that kind of stuff is that let's say you build something once in 1 year, and then a few years later there's a better way of doing it, or there's a different way you want to do it, or something's not working quite right for you, you can come back and fix it, you know, change it. A server, you can't really do that. It's a snapshot in time, you know. Hey, this is what I did at this moment in time, in this year, in this, you know, deadline, whatever. Which has its pros as well. It's challenging in its own right, because then you just have to, it is what it is once the season's over, you know, and you can be able to look back on it like, wow, look what I did here. And it's pretty cool if you go back like a decade, right? And some of the servers that were around in 2016, and you compare that to what the servers are now. That's the cool thing about having servers and seasons in the kind of snapshot. You can see like the progress that we've made as a culture, as a Minecraft culture, if you will, over those years. I know a lot of people enjoy having a new world because they don't see a point in making a new farm when they already got a farm that does that thing. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, I think at Ethos World, though, right? Like, there's a lot of farms there that have been around for a long time. He built them forever and ever and ever ago. But the thing is, because they keep updating the game, do you really need to go back and make a new iteration of an old farm? There's new things, so just make new farms, right? Or like Etho, for instance, will go back and fix farms because he keeps updating. He'll have to go back and fix farms that break in different updates. So, quite happy to make a new farm to play with another mechanic or stuff. Yeah, totally. And you have the freedom to do that as well. If I make a farm once, personally, I'm probably in a single player world, I'm not going to make that farm again. Unless I find a much better way of doing it, or I need it for a particular kind of build or something, or it breaks. But I probably won't go back and make the same farm again. I'll do it once, like this with the skeleton farm. I'll probably never make again in this world, right? Like this is the only one. Then I'll move on to something else because there's a list of 100 different things I haven't done, kind of thing, you know? So, but hey, if I wanted to come back, I could always come back and redo it. I could always come back and make a new one someplace else. All kinds of things that I could do. 7, let's go. Single player gives you the freedom over time to do kind of whatever you want, so. I do enjoy the aspect of it of like there's no real timeline. I can hop on whenever I want, hop off whenever I want. Like there's no set like this has to be done on this day. Now that does make it difficult to get things done sometimes, right? Because it's like, well, that can wait. There's no urgency to it. But also reduces any levels of stress that might come with it, right? Ad break in a 1.5 minutes, by the way. Just FYI. Recently made an amethyst farm that uses LAs. It was an excuse to harvest at different stages and play with LAs. I could see myself playing with another one to play with flying machines or automatic harvest, etc. Yeah. Totally. And then maybe there's a new mechanic that comes out later that makes it, you know, even easier. Like, I want to play with that mechanic. With a server, you've kind of got what you've got at that snippet in time. With a single player world, you can always come back later and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make this better. I'm gonna try something new. This new mechanic came out. I don't care if I have the same farm. I'm gonna go make it the same kind of farm, just in a different way of doing things. Fun times. Fun stuff. Yeah, like I said, when it comes to like the farms I'm making here, I'm probably never gonna make with the skeleton farm again unless it breaks. I have a gold farm. Probably would never make another gold farm if my gold farm didn't break. So I'll probably have to make a new one of those at some point. But I can do it at my own pace, right? Like I don't need the gold right now, so I can do it at my own pace. If I want to just keep digging out, I can keep digging. There is a certain level though of like, you know, hey, it's got to be somewhat entertaining in making content. Not have to be like super entertaining, but it's got to be not the most boring thing in the world. So, hey Wilmer, how's it going? Might be getting an ad right now though. Ad break is on, by the way. It's going by real quick now. There we go. Entertaining, stop showing off how professional you are. Professional? Me? No. I would never. I would never do that. There is an aspect of it that you know, you think about the entertainment factor of something. If you're gonna stream something. Doesn't have to be the first thing you think about, but... Back from ads, welcome back. Yeah, the professional side of things, you know. I would not consider myself to be, you know, the most professional. But you do, to some degree, think about the professional nature of things when making content, so... Yeah, no, I started down the path and I'm like, oh wait, there's actually ads. That's right, there's ads, ew. Who likes ads? I think it depends. Honestly, Zach, be fairly professional, capable to get partner. I think it depends, right? Because there's some very big streamers that are not professional at all. Actually, some of the biggest streamers are not professional at all. And there's some very professional people who are, you know, will never be able to see partner, more than likely. So to me, it like depends on the kind of content you're doing, right? Like if you're doing a degree of Minecraft content, I think there's a certain level of professionality to that. I just think of like there's some really big like variety gaming streamers or like IRL streamers that are just not at all, like I would not at all consider them to be professional. You know? But they're massive, 30, 40,000 concurrent viewer plus streamers, you know. But some of the I guess the other thing about professionality is like there's different ways of showing up, right? Because like in the gaming industry, being professional is very different from being in like a corporate world. right? Some level of being professional is just showing up every day, or showing up, having a schedule, or just being excited about your craft and showing up and doing that thing, you know? No, I wasn't talking about you, Zach. But I've seen streamers over the years who have like because when I think professional, I think of like the way someone talks, and having like, it used to be like the certain overlays, like the professional overlays people would have, or I think of some of the YouTubers that I've known over the years who had very professional videos, but whether it was kind of their way of going about things, or and like people who had like strict schedules, right? And they were like, I upload at this time on these days, and I do this, and I dedicate this time, and you know, I speak this way to people. I have these rules for my stream, right? Oh, I think you have a great potential to be partner. All it takes is one thing happening, right? I think of Philza as an example of someone who was a smaller streamer, a smaller content creator, who then blew up because of one thing. But he honed his craft, right? He was very good at it, same way you are. And he just kept going, and eventually a thing happened. How's it going, Wilmer, by the way? Sorry. I think I said hi to you during the ad break as well, but hopefully you're doing well. And you kind of have to play it by ear as well. Like, a lot of streaming, like, we all want to be successful to some degree, right? Whether it is a viewership thing, whether it's a content, like the amount of content I make, the quality of content I make, or like, you want people to see your stuff, right? But sometimes, especially when it gets to things like partners, there's a number you have to hit for that, and it's very hard to see that number if you're not close to it, right? Like, when I was coming up on streaming 2017, 2018 in particular, I've talked about it before, I joined 240p. I was like the small streamer in that group. Everyone else was hitting partner, and I had like 30, 40 concurrent viewers at that point. And they were all hitting partner. And I remember looking at them like, I'll never do that. You know, like, I don't have their dedication. I don't have the time to do what they do. I don't have the quality of content that they have. I'm not going to be able to do that. But it was hey, you know, I really enjoyed this thing. I'm just going to keep going. You know, let's see what happens. Let's try new things. Let's meet new people. You know, But there was no world in which I was looking at it like, that'll be a possibility for me one day. You know, I'm always going to be that small streamer. You know, I'm always going to be that footnote, you know, in someone else's journey. But wasn't true. It just took a couple years of me, like, I got really into streaming, and I just dedicated a lot of time to it and did things that I wanted to do. You know, I got partially lucky in that I was doing a lot of streaming as well when COVID happened, and so like COVID really helped my numbers. You know, I also spent a lot of time, let me see, I ended up spending so much time streaming that I got lucky, and certain people ended up watching the stream and helped me get the partner, you know? So I mean, I was doing fairly well with COVID, but if it wasn't for Tubbo's raid in like, what was it, May of 2021, would I be partner? Probably not. You know, so like that was a 20,000 person raid that shot my numbers up. I mean, I was hovering close, but I was always within arm's reach, just couldn't quite get there. And then that sent a spiral of 2 weeks where I was consistently averaging 100, 110, 120, whatever it was. And so that, I think the number I was at average wise when I hit partner was like 90 or 95 or something. Right? Like you just never know. Cause like you never know what's going to happen. You just have to keep going. With the notion of like, well, I just like doing this thing and I'm going to fit it into my life. However it's going to fit into my life. And to some degree, what happens, happens. Not doesn't mean I'm not going to try my best, but to some degree, what happens, happens. And do I believe in what I'm doing? Do I believe I'm doing a good job? If not, hey, there's some things to improve upon there. But if I believe I'm doing a good job and I like what I'm doing, and keep going. Goals I can go live and someone joins, be a force for good. Exactly, right? Like I think about it. My content creation career has been up and down a lot. Over the course of 11 years, the YouTube channel has over 1 million views. That's not 1 million individual people, but it's probably in the hundreds of thousands of people who have seen something that I've done. And the vast majority of them liked it, I'm trying to think, like, if I go to my channel, it was 1 million. I hit 1 million at some point. Yeah, we're at almost 1.5 million views on total on the YouTube channel. So, there's a good possibility that's 1 million different people who've watched a piece of content. 1 million. Think about that. That's pretty cool. And whether it's 1 million or 1,000 or whatever it is, that's a lot of people. Even if, like, let's say it's 1,000 people. That's still a lot of people. That's like almost as many people as like my entire high school. Like that's a lot of people. Daily goal in life online is be a force for good. Do something to make the world better. If it's a small gesture of kindness, for sure. That's a great goal. Yeah, you said hey during ad break. How's life been? It's been good. How's yours been, Wilmer? It's been good. I don't know how many years it's been now, but it's been good. Likewise, Zach. I mean, you have a steady stream for a reason. There's talent involved in that. There's lots of talent involved in that. 20K, yeah. I think it was about 20K. That was like the thing that put me over the edge, basically. And he did, I mean, people from back then remember as well, like, he did small things as well. Like, I remember him watching my stream on his stream at one point. Ooh, okay, let's not do that. Gotta fall in love at some point today, right? I remember him watching my stream on his stream at one point, and there was like a whole thing in chat as well. People were like, hey, he's watching you, kind of thing. Oh, thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Was it Conquest? Really? That was like, what? 8 years ago? 7 years ago? That's wild. Good old Tubbo, yep. I talked about 240p, and Breeze and I were actually talking about it on Wednesday. Jeff rated the stream as well. Jeff, the Twitch streamer, who many of you know. And we were talking about 240p a little bit. As part of that, kind of talking about where people have gone, since that time. But 240p, right? I just talked about that being like I was one of the smaller streamers in that. For sure. But it was during the 240p time where I was kind of like, am I really gonna like I'm not going for partner the way these other people are, kind of thing. That's when Tubbo found the stream, right? So there's all kinds of like interesting things that happen when you just kind of do your thing. You never know, right? And sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. Like I've had various people over the years come and go, you know, people of a bigger stature, people I was friends with I'm not really friends with anymore, people who I know that I don't really know anymore. I think about, I've said this before, but little known fact, the first person to ever subscribe to this Twitch stream on this channel was a Twitch partner, which people may not know, who found me through YouTube through my survival experience series. So you just keep posting stuff, keep going, and yeah, they were partnered at the time. Yeah, he wasn't partnered because he was a streamer though, so that was Mystic. At the time, he was a retired Rocket League pro who was a coach. I think he was retired at that point. But he's someone I watch, which was crazy to me, because I was big into Rocket League esports at that time, so I knew who he was. He didn't know who I was until he found me, but I knew who he was beforehand. And then he used his Prime sub on me when I got affiliate back in 2017. Like, you just never know. that's what I've learned over the years. Like, you just never know what's gonna happen, you know. So that was the first time I think I'd ever seen a partnered, you know, check mark in chat ever, you know. So yeah, Jeff, yeah. Been almost 10. I still have the old intro. I left Afterlife 8 months ago. Afterlife still exists. It's on season 6 now. Season 6 now. I left back in September though. Yeah, like John said. 200 streamers with founder badges, but they weren't at the time. Interesting. Yeah, some of that stuff happens too. Like there are people who are gotten Twitch partner who, you know, used to watch me. I mean, Tubbo, when he started watching me, was just starting streaming. I watched his stream when he had like 10, 15 viewers, if that. So you just never know. So you meet someone or something happens, or you do a thing and then it goes viral, or you do a thing and like someone sees it and they share it on their, you know, there's all kinds of things that can happen in the Twitch and streaming sphere. And it's different now than it was then. It's a lot more multi-streaming now. There's a lot more chances. There's different streamers who stream now. I mean, we were talking about it on Wednesday, but like a lot of the 240p streamers that I knew back then don't stream anymore. They were all hidden partner and now they all don't stream, or at least a lot of them. Grimly doesn't really stream anymore. Atlas stopped streaming, came back for a little bit and then he stopped. Stingin doesn't really stream anymore. I think he does somewhat, but it's kind of hit or miss, right? Because he's had to kind of move on, day job kind of thing. Janzi disappeared 5 years ago. Nobody knows what happened to him. He just one day stopped uploading and poof. All of those people Twitch partners back then. So, and there's a completely different set of partners now, a completely different set of people. Like Linksy wasn't even, he was a small streamer 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Actually was, we raided Mandolin on Wednesday, passed on Jeff's raid to Mandolin. And we were talking about, there was something in there like, I guess if you give a shout out to somebody and someone in chat looks at the shout out and that person in chat doesn't follow the person who's been shouted out, you'll see their like Twitch schedule if they have it set up in chat as part of the shout out. We were talking about that. I think Linksy was like a test candidate basically. So I went back and I looked at when I followed Linksy. I followed Linksy 5.5 years ago on Christmas 2020. Like when all this stuff, like when I was, you know, on 240p, felt like, you know, this really small streamer, like, this stuff's never gonna happen. Linksy hadn't even started where he is today. So it's, you know, you just never know, right? Hey, Sonic Stan, good to see you. Hope you're doing well today as well. Yeah, I mean, that's fair warmer. I mean, single player worlds aren't for everyone. So I totally get that. They're big for me. I love single player, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Stenos came back, yeah. No, great, thanks. I forgot it was Whitefire time as I've got addicted to game dev. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think I'm good on SMPs for right now. I thought about like short-term servers, right? Like, I think short-term servers would be cool, but to be honest, like I don't do a whole lot. Exactly, I'll hop on with Zach. Yep, exactly, you got it. That would be preferable. I barely touched Minecraft this week for the same reason. Fair enough. Yeah, and we were just talking about single player worlds, right? The beauty of single player worlds is that you can kind of hop on whenever. There's no time limit to it, you know. It'll be there. It'll be there next week, next month, next year. It'll be there. You got something going on? It'll be there. My desk keeps buzzing because my aunt texted me. You know, it's the first time I've ever sent a group chat that my aunt has, or a group text to a group chat that my aunt has been in. Because of how late I was coming home Friday, they wanted me to, my dad wanted me to at least text him to make sure that, you know, I got home safe, because it's about a 3-hour drive. So I just ended up texting both my parents and my aunt as well. Just so they all got it, you know. Might as well. My aunt is one of those texters who like puts her name at the end of every text. Actually, she didn't this time. But she has done that quite a bit. Where did you go? Friday, there was a surprise party being held for my grandfather who's turning 90. So, and they live in Pennsylvania. I live in Maryland. They live in Pennsylvania. So I drove to Pennsylvania. So, totally making so much progress. A game that I haven't wanted to stop for Minecraft. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Get into it. Get stuff done. Minecraft will be there. I do that. What are you trying to say? It's funny. Oh, you live in Ohio. Nice. Yeah, I was in the Columbus area last weekend. Decent area. I still stand by my statement at the beginning of the stream, though, that Ohio roads are worse than Maryland's. But maybe that's just where I was at. I don't know. Alrighty, sounds good. Getting tea and meds sounds good. When you sign your name at the end of an email, they literally saw who it was before they opened it. Yeah, texting is more short form. Like, I view email as like long form, like writing a letter basically, versus texting being short form, instant messaging. Texting would be similar to like sending a Discord message, right? That's just how I view it in my Gen Z brain. Were you down to see Luke Combs? No, a friend of mine was getting married. A friend of mine lives in the area, so we were there to go to this person's wedding. Oh boy. No, Wilmer. I assume that's somebody you know. You never know with coincidences, though. Sometimes a coincidence isn't quite a coincidence. Here we go. Get back here, lava pool. Be gone. Be gone, I say. That would be funny. Thank you. It's statistically unlikely that we know the same person, but I have a problem with my talent square I'm fixing, hopefully. What happened? It's not a big enough square. The road's not a line. Man, you never know. True. You do never know. You put your lampposts too close together. Oh no. Perfectionist to me is like, no, fix it. Yeah, keeping it lit while being spaced appropriately is difficult because I feel like you have to like, I don't know. I always go towards the side of wanting to light things up more rather than less, which leads to more crowded lighting, which doesn't always look the best, so. That's where I planned it to be, but it feels crowded, yeah. You put them in the world and you're like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. About to have an ad break? Might be another ad break soon, by the way. I guess what that was. FYI. In case I suddenly cut out. Enjoy the ad break. I'll just do ASMR the entire time that there's an ad break. It's only those with without ads get the exclusive ASMR content. We all love, we love some Whitefire ASMR. It's great, isn't it? It's the best. I haven't done that in a long time. I do love the clip that's on, or the, it's not a clip though, it's a highlight I think, on this channel from like forever ago. I don't really listen to ASMR anymore though. I used to a lot, and I really don't anymore. Yeah, ad break, rip. Whip the ads. I am going to throw this basalt in here, and then I am going to quickly go grab some water because I'm out of water. So stop right here. We'll pause, and it'll take me a minute, then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. That was quick, took me a minute. Literally a single minute. That's pretty good, huh? Like that. Play in the background as I play the Jedi, or the Star Wars Jedi Survivor game, nice. Hey, what's up, Breezy? How you doing? Come in. You know, I feel like I felt a lot better this week. I talked about it, I think, some on Wednesday as well, about just not feeling like we've been doing as much fun stuff. You know, just after going to a wedding and then going to a party, like a birthday party type thing. It wasn't really a party. It was a party, but not a party. It wasn't like, you know, crazy party. I don't know, I've been feeling better though. Some of it's because the weather is getting a little better. You know, getting out of the dreary winter months. Doing my procrastinating house chores, fair enough. Yeah, I got dishes to do. I at least got most, if not all, the laundry done on Friday? I think it was Friday. In a moment? Yeah. Just let me know when I need to look. Zach, I can. You get into those moments, Em and I have talked about it, just like not being quite content, not being quite happy, but also kind of like not feeling bad per se, just kind of like here, just surviving. Those aren't the most pleasant moments. Ready? Ready, set, go. What am I looking at? Too much. Yeah, I see what you... part of it's probably the color of the lampposts. It just sticks out more, which is why it probably feels like too much. Yeah, so you took the... If you take the... well, I think you spaced them a little further apart. But if you take the sides off, yeah. It blends in a little better, right? Looks good though, Zach. And even if it's not perfect, you can always audit it, right? But doing something rather than, you know, doing nothing is generally better. So even if it's not perfect, you know, I think it looks good. A lot further apart the sides, we're going back, yeah. I got dishes too. Gotta cook dinner very soon. Yeah, we've got to make dinner tonight, and Emma's gonna make her her lunches for this week. That's kind of the nice thing about working from home, is that I don't have to think too far ahead, food wise. I can take the 5 steps out into the kitchen and be like, what am I having for lunch today? Versus she goes in 3 days a week, and so she kind of has to think ahead, like, what am I doing for lunch this week? So. Not for the brother sides going back, just easier cleansable. Oh, I see what you mean. It will look better either way, just further apart. Yeah. Does it fit all of your lighting needs though? Further apart? Did you double check the lighting? Pretty sure it's all non-spawnable. Okay. Yeah, I get pretty overzealous with my lighting, so I always think about that. Like I still use the same lighting techniques now that I did like pre 1.17, just for the sake of like wanting to make sure that nothing spawns. Yeah, as long as it's not light level 0 though, right? Like, you're fine. Once it goes to 0 and there's a spawnable space, right? Because if you have bottom slabs, then you're fine. In light level 0, I think. Cooking fried pork chops, mac and cheese and corn. Oh my gosh. Sign me up. Yum yum. We're gonna do this because I don't want to deal with the lava here, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna slab those. Hello Enderman, please go away, thank you. Budget payment is full blocks. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. Oh, I appreciate it, Breezy. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'll take a plate. Hence, time to be careful, although I can hide subtle light if I needed to, but I think I've got it spot on. Good. Good, good. Good, good. You're watching Good Boulder Fest. Do 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 do. Very good. I will forever be in my brain. We are in fact watching Good Boulder Fist. Minecraft reference, by the way. Minecraft. Yes, Bailey is home. She's currently sleeping at my feet on her bed. We picked her up. Well, we stayed at Emma's parents last night, and then we came back this morning. Bailey was ready to go though. She was like, "I'm ready. Take me home, please." Apparently, the two dogs got tired of each other starting like 2 days ago, Friday. They're both like, "All right, the other one can go." It was fun while it lasted, but vacation's over. So. Apparently Bailey almost ran out in front of a bike, which is always great. The whole thing. I have fallen into lava once today. Kind of, but we count it. New spacing is in creative world, so after I triple check lighting levels, I can spend a stream just moving them. There you go. Dedicated stream, we're moving lighting today. Takes time. Yeah, I think last year I was pretty good about it, yeah. I don't remember falling into lava then. She was pretty excited, yeah. I mean, she wasn't like overly excited, I would say. Normally when we stay at my in-laws, both dogs sleep with my in-laws in their room, but Bailey wanted to sleep with us last night, so Bailey spent the entire night just like I was laying on my back like a normal person and had my legs slightly apart, and she just crawled right in between my legs and slept there the whole night. So, like, okay, if that's what you want to do. Emma was a little sad because normally what Bailey does is that she will. I need to get slaps real quick. She will sleep between us. Like she typically, like at home, she has to be touching both of us. So she'll sleep right between us, like perpendicular to us, because she has to be touching us both for whatever reason. But last night she was like, nope, I will sleep between dad's legs. It was a pretty comfy spot to be in. It was right at the edge of the bed as well, so I forget it was the end of last year, towards the beginning of this year. My in-laws got rid of the bed that's in the room that used to be Emma's room. That is just one of their offices now. Her mom is training to be a Pilates instructor now that she's retired. So she uses kind of her training space, and so they have I forget what it's called, but it's the bed that comes off the wall. I forget what they're called. Murphy bed, yes. That's what it is. So last time we stayed there, we stayed in the Murphy bed, and I had the worst sleep. So we had to try this time slightly different. So instead of, because I was sleeping like basically, we were sleeping on like the short end basically, with So my legs were dangling off like the side of the bed almost instead of going long ways. So my back hurt. My back was bad that day. So this time I slept diagonally. And it was a lot better. So because I was diagonal, my feet were toward the diagonal, and so Bailey slept more towards my feet. So she was basically at like the side of the bed. Dad recently lava because I forgot that I don't have my normal protection load out. I normally have fire protection on boots. RIP. I was mocked appropriately, lost something, but a few levels in dignity. Yeah. Being mocked is fair. I mean, if I died in lava in this world, I feel like it would go from mocking to sadness very quickly. Yeah, it wasn't a fun sleeping arrangement the first time, but we're getting used to it. Like I said, they have the Murphy bed in that room because it was converted to kind of a like an office. There was already a desk there, but once she retired, she went from having kind of like an office job to now being an instructor and having to train for that, and so needed an at-home space to do that, so they used that room. But probably not for long. They'll probably move in the next year or two. Oh. Next year, probably. Emma's brother's graduating college the end of the summer? Right. At the end of the summer or end of the fall semester. And so then there'll be a little bit of time for him to figure out where to live, but then, because he lives with them right now. He goes to college locally. So. See how long. Died 2 lava. The fire damage taken away as I found a corner to die whilst eating rotten flesh and now not helping much. Yeah. Not too helpful. We've all been there. Fortunately. I might have survived till I was allowed to eat chicken. Wait, did you have like a stream redemption or something happening where they restricted how much, what you could eat? You stand in the corner while Spartan eating rotten flesh? Hey, sometimes. You know, it's a mood, you know? Sometimes I just sit in the corner eating rotten flesh and thinking about my life, you know? Happens. The burnt rotten flesh of my enemies. Mwahaha. Mwahahahaha. We love it. Nailed it, Ace. It can't be stopped. How much of this space are we gonna start with? Might do this first. Do this little area. One of the quirk options, gotcha. I have a randomizer where in my world one side quest, one quirk become available to redeem. Yep. Thought it was something like that. Some quirks are easy, others are annoying, especially if the side quest doesn't go well with it. Start a raid side quest, wear no armor quirk. That's what we call real hard mode. You know? That's when the game really begins. Let the games begin. Lately, I think my most common quirk is having to give up a hotbar slot to a shovel for the entire stream. What's wrong with the shovel? I could totally do that easily. Look at that. Ooh. Got him. Yeah, sounds good, Breezy. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. Appreciate it. Have fun with dishes. It's a very, very fun time, right? We love dishes. Dishes are great. Smile. Whoop! Not what I wanted. I'm gonna do that so I don't fall in again. Struggle can be fun. If you manage to conquer the redeem, you can be quite proud. I have a bit of a reputation for punching dirt because I can't be bothered to get the shovel out of my inner chest for a few dirt. Yeah, that's why I keep just a shovel. I keep a lot of things in my inventory. I probably shouldn't, but I do keep a shovel in my inventory. I use it quite a bit, so I always find myself needing it, and so I was like, oh, fine, I'll just keep it. The one thing I don't keep on me is a hoe anymore. That's one thing I probably should keep more of. I should keep on me more often. I've seen your wallpaper? Have I seen your wallpaper? Have I seen your wallpaper? I think the right answer here is yes. I think that's the correct answer to the question. That's amazing. Wait, I think I've seen that. What have I seen? What even is life real? I don't know. Are we all just in a simulation right now? Who knows? Dax rocks y'all in a simulation right now. None of this is real. It's the Matrix. Congratulations. That's 2 excuses to slide into your DMs today. Whoop. Slide into those DMs. So far. More to come? Thinking emoji? Monka, Or whatever new emojis there are now. Emotes. Say emojis, didn't emote. Oh my goodness. Fly away. No. Okay. You're mean. You're just mean, Gast. That's not even cool. That's just mean. It's rude. Like, imagine shooting a fireball at somebody, okay? How rude is that? So rude, right? It's so rude. It's like the rudest. Now that was professional. It's so like the rudest. Ever. Professional speak right there. Today I do declare, that was rude. There we go. What am I doing with my life? There we go. Oh, yes, I will show these to her. So cute. It's so funny whenever Bailey is trying to sleep. 'Cause she sleeps in like the funkiest ways. Last night, even though she was on like the other side of me from Emma, she would look back at Emma. She'd be on her back and like, I don't know why she does this, but instead of like turning on her stomach and looking, she'll lay on her back and put her head all the way back, like upside down, to look at Emma. I don't know why. But that's what she does. Never mind, it's probably terrible for her back, but you know, don't we all do things that are terrible for our backs? So, you know. Preference, I sent Wyatt a picture of me, hence it's so cute. Exactly. Best picture ever. Can't be beat. Hey, what's up, Oak? Has been a minute. How you doing? How you been? Hopefully you've been well. Been well enough, life's been really busy. Fair enough. Busy, busy, busy. Life be lifin'. Life do be doing, you know? Do be doing the things. The stuff and things. On the Hermitcraft, the Amplified server. Love how that unlocks a core memory for me. Core Slipgator memory. Stuff and things. Yeah, we're good. We're doing good. We do be doing life. Do we constantly talk about work? Yes. Are we trying not to constantly talk about work? Yes. Is it succeeding? No, but we're trying. It's hard when you work at the same place to not talk about work constantly. So there's the work, there's like the pre-work brief, and then there's the work, and then there's the post-work debrief. And then there's the 2 hours of not talking about work. But it's hard. It's hard when you work at the same place, like I said. And on the same stuff. I'm trying to take the approach of like, I don't know. I have this weird thing where I mean, Emma and I both do this, but we get obsessed about certain things and we try to like own more stuff than we are actually responsible for. And I'm trying to take the mentality of like, I want to do a good job, at the same time I don't actually own this work. Like, it's not my responsibility. And I need to just do the best I can with what I do own. But if things go upside down, you know, it's not on me. I'm not the one who's responsible. It's a very difficult concept, you know? Ads are snooze for 5 minutes. What happened? It was almost an ad break there. Shh, ads. Now there's an ad break in 5 minutes. Oh, the upside you do have someone understands. Yeah, it's the upside to it is we can actually talk about work, like talk about work, and it's a pro and a con. You can talk about work with a level of detail you couldn't talk about it with before, which is good for solving problems and for people to understand, like the other side to kind of like understand what is happening. But at the same time, since you understand what's happening, it leads to more talking about it because you can actually talk about it. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Life is a whole series of pro con. Oh yeah. Whole series of pros and cons. For sure. All right, we are going to put this in here, like a so, and now the rat goes into here. All right, let's go to the Wither Skeleton Farm, and we are going to repair my pickaxe because it needs repaired badly. Like you said though, life be lifin'. Is going. Well, I guess Jen technically said it, but same thing. Life be lifin', you know. We've had a couple of back-to-back weekends where we've been out of the state, so I've been trying to enjoy things a little bit more. Went to a wedding last weekend that kind of reminded me that, you know, life is short and you want to, you know, have the most fun you can in the most responsible manner possible. Life's too short not to have fun. Is my golem dead or something? Because I feel like this has gotten really slow. Who killed the golem? Who killed my golem? What are we doing? They killed my golem. Oh, I bet it was a ghast. I bet you it was a ghast. Look at this. I'm sad now. Alright, while we're on ad break, we're gonna grab stuff to fix this. Actually, I might even just be able to stay over here. I don't know how this keeps happening, but oh my gosh. It's the worst. So we should be able to turn this because we got some shears. We should have some iron blocks in here somewhere. Yes. I think so. You and you. I need blocks. I need lots of blocks. I'm just gonna throw the pumpkin seeds, who cares? I've had workmen in and out of the house many days. I'm expecting workmen with them not actually showing. Yeah, they do be like that, unfortunately. It do be like that. We are gonna grab you. It's not pretty, but that'll work. We do last time. Hi, friends. There we go. Once the ad break ends, we can get back to it, but... Can they reach them? They cannot reach them. As far as I can tell, they're not hitting them. There we go. What I should probably do is enclose this. Now that we got wither skeletons like this, it would probably be best if I were to enclose this in some manner that's, you know, somewhat indestructible. Like put a, not indestructible, but like put like a roof on this probably. Like a glass roof maybe. I don't know. That's better though. Yeah, this is way better now. So this goes. Think ad break's about to start, maybe? Potentially? Come on, Skelebobs. Wither Skelebobs. Skelefriends. Tiny feet. Oh wait, that meant that the ad break was over, right? Yeah, we'll come back then. Maybe? I don't know anymore. What do I know? What do I know? All the XP, thank you. We're gonna take so many swords. Take all these swords. I'm gonna throw them away. Because who needs stone swords? Come on now. The older I get, the more I realize there's so much more to know than I can. Oh yeah. You can never know everything. You're ever gonna know a subset of things that there are in the world. Part of that is also just with things like the internet. We have a lot more access to information, and so we know that we don't know as much as there is information out there because of things like the internet. Oh, that's not good. Whatever that is not good. You know what? I can't have that. Because yeah, because it's gonna spawn on there. Okay. All right, let's get whoop. Let's get some slabs or something to put on top. We're gonna slab the top. That's what we're gonna do right now. Because I am deathly afraid. Who said that, Oak? Said you were ignorant because I don't know the trending, loud, annoying people on YouTube. That I live a sheltered life. Who, like, was this someone like a stream chat? Who was saying this? That's a pretty rude thing to tell somebody. A streamer? You're talking like someone streaming on Twitch and not someone in chat? Or was it a streamer who was in your chat? That's just bizarre. I don't know why we would expect other people to know the same information we do when they have a different both perspective, but also, you know, a different algorithm, a different way of living than we do. Right? Like, I'm on the internet, but I'm on the internet in very different places than I was 10 years ago. You know? And I'm not on the internet in the same fashion that I was 10 years ago. There are lots of people names I've heard, even in chats, that I'm like, who? Meanwhile, they have millions of subscribers or something, you know? A streamer on Twitch, I don't actually follow them anymore. Yikes. I was gonna say, like, you know, if you want to DM me who this is, I would be happy to have them on my list of don't watch this person. An immediate block. Yeah, it's something, you know. It's a mentality of life, I guess. I don't know. It's something. Feed is full of castle architecture, dinosaurs, fossils, and some guy tending cows. That's awesome. I'm a lot more on like the, I mean, people in chat know this, but I'm a lot more on like the finance side of YouTube these days in content. That's what I'm watching right now. I used to be on the like self-help side of online content. I used to be really on the Minecraft side of things. Not as much anymore. I used to be bigger into the Rocket League side of things. Not as much anymore, you know? So I'm watching a lot of Smosh and Game Grumps. Nice. Game Grumps, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. I have even very little time for Twitch. I don't socialize much anymore. Fair enough. And Victorian ghost stories, nice. Need things on emotion that have nothing to do with me. Yeah, that's totally fair. And I will also say, right, there's like different times in life that you need or want different things, right? That goes for content as long as everything else. And then there's certain things that you'll probably never watch, right? Like, I've always been aware of like the 100 Days style content, but it's never my thing, I guess, to watch. So, like, I know it's there. I know there's big creators there. Not something that I would ever particularly watch, though, you know? Hopefully this doesn't stop my spawn rates, but we will see, I guess. I don't think it needs to be open to the sky, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I got some spawning. Okay. There we go. Yeah, for sure, Oak. I mean, that's why I watch certain people as well. Or I come back to certain people. There's certain people I found because of Minecraft and then come back because of them. So, that's totally fair. Friend got me into them. Nice. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This world sucks right now. Yeah. There's good and bad to the amount of information at our fingertips. Because you get a lot of information, but then you get a whole lot of opinions as well. And you get to hear everybody's opinions, for better or for worse. Because everybody's got opinions, you know. Sometimes you wish that you didn't hear certain people's opinions. But they're there. Emma and I were just talking about it 2 days ago. There is a side to my family that is not like me and not like the people that we usually, the parts of our family that we're usually around. And it got to conversations about like just the access to certain people's opinions that we have now that we didn't have before. Because of the information age, because of social media, because whatever, you know, we hear a lot more people's opinions than we used to. And some of those opinions we'd rather not hear. You know, it gives you a lens into somebody's life that you may have been okay with this person before hearing their opinion about said thing. And then now after you hear their opinion, you're like, do I want to associate with this person? Now that can be good, you know, you steer yourself away from the people who have certain opinions that are not very tasteful. But ordinarily, and you know, decades ago, you may not have, because you wouldn't have known that they had said opinion. So it's an interesting time we live in. I can't say the phrase on this stream that often goes with this conversation, but you know, everybody has opinions. That's what it boils down to. And oftentimes they're not, you know, they're not good opinions, but they're there. So right? In this day and age, you can totally choose what to partake in. I'm glad my social circle isn't limited to the other 800 people that live in my town. There's that too, right? Yeah. I mean, I think about like the positive sides of the amount of information that the internet and the amount of access the internet has given us. There are certain people that, I mean, a lot of us who talk in this chat, right, would never have known each other if it wasn't for the internet. So most people I hang out with now are from Europe. Yeah, that wouldn't have been possible without the internet. Not in the ways in which we do it now. If you like go to another country or something, you meet a person, that's one thing. But we have ease of access to more people now because of the internet. So I try to take opinions on the internet kind of at face value. Like, this is this person's opinion about this thing. Then I get to choose whether or not I associate with this person based off of said opinion, how they conduct themselves. So, and I will also say with the internet, because there's an ease of access, there's also an ease of distancing yourself from people or groups that you may have associated yourself with but don't want to anymore for whatever reason. So you can just easily unfollow somebody, right? If something they said or something, or the way that they conduct themselves, because often what someone is saying is a reflection of how they conduct themselves. Not always, right? Some people make mistakes in saying things and whatnot, but you know, if someone's saying a particular thing and it's because they believe it, or because, you know, they're in a group, a certain area of the internet that believes it, and you may not want to associate yourself with that, you know, because the internet, we have the option then to not be a part of those communities, even if we were beforehand, because there's a internet cutoff you can make, basically a virtual cutoff. Pen pals would play Minecraft Hang on Discord, feel so much more real. Sometimes I think people say things or shout things just to get it. Oh, a lot of it's attention. I mean, that's a lot of social media. For sure. Absolutely. You know, I don't know if it's just because of like who I am or how my brain works or whatever it is, but when I see people say something in bad taste, my mind immediately goes to what's going on in their life to make them say this, right? What bad things are they surrounding themselves with, or have they been surrounded with, that make them say these things? That's where my brain goes when I hear things. It doesn't at all excuse the actions, but that's just where, like, my brain goes, something's going on here. And oftentimes, if someone is saying something bad, it's because it's something that's going wrong in their life. I've talked to Emma about this because it's something that she struggles. I mean, I struggle with it as well, but something she struggles with as well. When someone says something and they direct it at you, right? It's not often about you; it's about them. they're lashing out at you for something, but it's really because they have something going wrong in their life. And then with the internet, that becomes a lot easier to either like to say to people and then to take as well, because we have the ability to have so many more interactions. We can go back this way now. No, I need to actually put some of this stuff away before we start that. Tired of grown adults saying, "Mommy, mommy, look at me." Yep. Oh, for sure, for sure. So, and that's just me, right? That's my mentality about things. So, that helps me kind of be able to like shake off certain things that ordinarily, right, if someone said something bad about me, I would say, okay, well, why are they saying about me? What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? When a lot of times I'd say like pretty much 100% of the time it's not about me, it's about them. They hold this belief for any particular reason, and you know, it's not good, but they're then taking that and they're saying I'm bad because of this thing. It's like, well, typically it's not anything bad with me. So. Especially the way people say it, especially when people lash out, right, and they say mean things. Oh my gosh. And especially on the internet, it's like, okay, you're saying it here because likely you can't say it somewhere in your life. This happens with kids a lot. You know, they lash out, and it's not because, you know, the receiving party's done anything wrong. It's just something's going on in their life. I mean, it's the whole philosophy behind bullies as well, right? A bully is a bully typically because something's happening in their life, and they're taking that out on other people. Again, it doesn't excuse their actions. They still have to be responsible for their actions. But it helps me anyways to know, like, hey, this person, they got something going on with them, you know? You know, if I gotta ban them, if I have to do whatever, you know, I have to do what I have to do. But there's a consequence to the action, but you know, it's not for any other reason other than they did a bad thing, you know. So yeah, and then with we've talked about AI. I think we talked about AI on Wednesday a little bit, but yeah, you get more and more of a world of like what's true, what's not true. The bot accounts that are on social media spreading misinformation, right? What's true? I don't know. What's true and what isn't true is just based on whatever your circle is of information that you get. The selective pool, and that's just based off what your social media feed is, or what the internet is giving to you. So even for me growing up, it was, you know, a challenge in some of the, not early days of the internet, but definitely some of the early days of social media. growing up in that landscape. Somebody says something about you on so-and-so social media site, and I mean, there were whole social media sites that were just like, tell a secret about somebody. And so that starts a rumor mill that you don't even know, or you end up finding out and you're like, how did this happen? So-and-so saying so-and-so thing about behind my back, and it spreads even easier because of the internet and social media, and yeah, it's a whole thing. I forget what the website was when I was a kid in high school. High school. I mean, it was, for me, it was during high school, but it was like, it wasn't even like whispered through the halls. It was like you could just submit it online and then people could see it. And it was all anonymous. You would never know. I forget what the site was called. But I shudder, like I was saying with AI, just, you know, it's so much easier for misinformation. Someone sees in a post generated by AI or something that just completely makes something up. It's like, how do you know that that's real? How do you know that it's not real? You see a random Twitter account say something, it's like, maybe it's real, maybe it's not real. I have no idea. You know. It's a whole thing. Oop. Alright, well, we are a little late, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up there for today, y'all. It's been a good stream. Honestly, it's been a fun stream, and it's been nice to kind of get back into the swing of things. We had a couple streams where I was out doing other things, so we'll do it for sure. Anyone who might be new around here, I go live Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So check me out then. Check back then. It's always on my schedule on Twitch. Any cancellations come through Discord generally, so that's a good place to be. Discord. What a post. I couldn't type correctly. I'm also starting to sweat in my office as well because it's getting really warm. But yeah, I will be back Wednesday. Those of you who I will not see Wednesday, I will see you next weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern. If not, I'll see you Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for hanging out, everyone. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all not too long from now. Take care, everyone. I'll see you later. Deuces.